Hey, what's up, my winners? This is John with another episode of Break the Board here on Wednesday, the 28th of June. Tuesday night, very good for us. 4-2, back in the saddle. The Rangers being able to get two of those victories for us. One, we had them on the run line. The other was the money line parlay with the Dodgers. We also had the D-backs and the Phillies. Unfortunately, we fall by the wayside with the Astros. Huge disappointment there. In that one, in the Brewers, of course, I bet against the Mets, and they go from being terrible to the 27 Yankees, only as we can call it. Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your own phone. Head to the website on your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use the promo code BLEAV. That's capital BLEAV, all caps BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online where the game starts. Don't forget, every Thursday we drop our episode of Bustin' Chops Calling Shots. That's our main podcast. This is Break the Board. You get this every day. We got it out by noon Eastern time. Follow us on Twitter at bccsports.com. Check out our YouTube, BCCS Sports. Give us a like and subscribe to that. All right, real quick. LSU obviously gets the World Series championship as they destroy Florida. Now the question will be, will Pittsburgh draft Skeens, the pitcher, out of LSU and have him down the stretch? Pittsburgh's still not out of it here as they come down the pike here towards the end of the season. In the Central, obviously things starting to heat up. We're almost to the All-Star break, about 2 weeks away from the All-Star break now. One where I will enjoy thoroughly that vacation. But right now, Pittsburgh sets 5 games back of the Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Reds, nice story, but I still think they fade out here a little bit. I still like the Cubs, who are third in that division, 3.5 back. I think the Cubs are the team that ultimately sneaks out, even though there's only one team left in that Central. But hey, if Pirates can draft Skeens, gives them another pitcher to go with Mitchell and Keller in the gang, could be interesting there. But again, congratulations to LSU as you are able to top Florida and win the College World Series. Damian Lillard, still news still out there. Portland says they're still committed to him, committed to building a winner. Everybody in Portland, all that like fires and tearing stuff down and homelessness, it's flooded its way right into the Portland front office because there is no move out there that they can make to make them any better than a play-in team. Like, that's their ceiling, is a play-in team. That means you get to the play-in game, and unless Dame goes nuts, you're out. You don't even make the final 8 for an actual playoff spot. That's the ceiling for Portland. I don't want to hear about Lillard and Scoot Henderson and all that. You got nothing. You're not getting, I mean, just think, folks. Denver, they ain't beating them. Phoenix, I ain't getting past them. Lakers, who extend Hachimura and Reeves. Now another team has to overbid them. So we got Denver, Phoenix, LA. You're not hopping Sacramento. You're not hopping Golden State. Right, there's 5. Memphis, they're going to be better with Marcus Smart, and once Ja comes back, I think that's actually a really good fit for Ja. Is having, Marcus Smart, he's a little crazy, right? So I just listed off all those teams, and even though they didn't make the playoffs, do we think Portland can do anything to be better than Dallas? Can they do anything to be better than the Clippers? Right? So everybody, I mean, you got Wembanyama coming in with the Spurs. They got a lot of cap flexibility. Maybe they do a couple things. Like, you've lost your mind if you're Portland. The only thing you can do is trade him and get a bunch of assets and rebuild and look at it and say, okay, LeBron and the Lakers, Curry and the Warriors, Durant and the Suns, in like 3 years, all these teams are going to be on the downside. I mean, they're already on the downside, but really by then, maybe Denver gets plucked away from all their picks. But to hold on to this thing is absolutely absurd. Just absolutely absurd. Okay? Philadelphia makes a lot of sense. People talk about Miami. I don't know if Miami's really got the pieces to dance with them in a trade. I think Milwaukee makes a lot of sense. Okay. Chris Middleton for Damian Lillard, I could see that working. But either way, there's Lillard back staying with Portland just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. In the NFL, obviously we went over AFC odds to win each division. We'll on Bustin' Chops Calling Shots, our main show tomorrow night. That'll release on Thursday. We'll have some good stuff, really digging into the NFC for you, talking about division odds and whatnot. I'm going to Friday really start covering some of the college football, touching on that a little bit. July will be college football month. I'll really get you ready, really get you primed. We'll go over some do's and don'ts. I got some short clips coming out to help some of you bettors, just some gambling 101 stuff you'll really like. But let's hop into the card for Wednesday. First game will go off at 12:20 Eastern time. That's going to be your Minnesota Twinkies at your Atlanta Braves. Kenta Maeda will get the call for the Twinkies. Colby Allard will get the call for the Atlanta Bravos. Maeda 1-4 with a 6.86. Allard will be making his first start of the season for him. And so the Braves on this one, we don't have a line yet. But again, the Braves, they thumped the Twins tonight. Actually, here I got one. Braves minus 155, Maeda plus 135. Again, if I was going to do anything, I'd lean to the dog. Unfortunately, the problem when you bet the Twins is they just can't score runs. They can't figure out ways to put runs up on the board, and it really, really hinders them. 4:10 Eastern time, Washington Naturals. There's nothing natural about them except the way they suck. Washington Nationals, Patrick Corbin, the southpaw, get Logan Gilbert. Gilbert's got a laying 250 plus 210 on the comeback for the Nats. Corbin 4-9 with a 5.32 ERA, 1.61 WHIP. He's averaging 5 2/3 innings pitched. Gilbert 5-4 with a 4.07 ERA. He's averaging 5 2/3 innings pitched, 1.02 ERA. Nats 1-6 in Corbin's last 7 starts on a Wednesday, 1-5 in the last 6 meetings. However, right now they're tied 4-4 here late in the game. 7:05 Cincinnati Reds 9-7-1 facing the Baltimore Orioles 9-7-2 in the rotation. Reds are going to send Luke Weaver to the hill. Orioles are going to send Kyle Gibson. Orioles minus 178, comeback plus 150. I had a lean towards the O's. The problem is the line's just too daggone high for me. But nevertheless, we'll get in here for you and break it down. Reds with Luke Weaver, he's 1-2 with a 6.86, 1.59 WHIP. Gibson 8-5 with a 4.30 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. Again, the Reds have really, really struggled here down the stretch. But they got some wins. After they had that big 12-game win streak, they struggled, losing 2 against the Braves, dropped 1 against the O's, got back on track tonight. So even though they started to stumble a little bit, the Reds are viable. The problem is their pitching, right? Hunter Green, Adelo. I mean, all those guys, what are they going to do to be able to keep it going is the problem here. How do they keep that success story running for the Reds is what I'm interested to see, even though they got a half-game lead right now in the Milwaukee Brewers in that Central Division. 9-5-1, the San Diego Padres will visit 9-5-2, the Pittsburgh Pirates. This goes off 7:05 Eastern time. Southpaw Blake Snell, who's been lights out as of late, he'll oppose Mitch Helen Keller for the Pirates. Snell 4-6 with a 3.22 ERA, averaging 5 1/3 innings pitched. Keller 8-3 with a 3.45 ERA, averaging 6 1/3 innings pitched. Padres 0-4 in their last 4 games versus a right-handed starter. Over-under is set at 8, juice minus 115 to the over. Padres 5-3 in the last 8 meetings against Pittsburgh. San Diego, again, minus $1.70, plus 140 on the comeback for the Pirates. I know Snell's been lights out. Right now, if I had to take a lean, though, I would really lean towards the Pittsburgh Pirates in this matchup. When you look a little deeper into it, again, Padres 20th ranked offense. Pittsburgh has the 23rd ranked offense in Major League Baseball. Again, we were talking about Snell. In his last 3 starts, the Padres are 2-1, and he's got a .47 ERA. The man's been absolutely ridiculous. Keller, not too shabby. 2.84 ERA in his last 3 starts. So both of these pitchers under a .9 whip. Both of them have just been absolutely incredible over their last 3. Snell has won 3 of his last 4 starts, really bounced back. But he's faced Pittsburgh twice, once in 2017, once in 2021, losing both of those matchups. Keller has lost 3 of his last 4 starts and 2 of 3 against the Padres. He hasn't faced them since last year when he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run in the loss. Again, I still like the Pirates here at home. They got after it tonight and were able to get the win. I give them the edge up. San Francisco Giants at the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow, 7:08 Eastern Time. 9-7-3 is the Giants in the rotation. 9-7-4 is Toronto Blue Jays. Should have had them tonight. I knew the Giants were getting way too much plus money, but Logan Webb will be on the bump for the Giants. Chris Bassett will be on the hill for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays -122. Comeback +105 with the Giants. Webb with the 3.16 ERA. I really like the Blue Jays to bounce back in this one. I think it's a good spot for them. Now, the Giants are 4-0 in Webb's last 4 starts on the road, so that's a little concerning. The under 7-3 the last 10 meetings. That over-under sets at 8.5. But when you look at Chris Bassett and Logan Webb over their last 3 starts, Bassett 2.67 ERA, Webb a 3.43. Webb has won his last 4 starts in 5 of his last 6 starts. But I just like Bassett here. He's had some success in the past against the Giants. I understand the Giants have been red hot. I liked them when they were plus $1.30 or whatever it was this morning with the game today on Tuesday. But look, I like the Blue Jays here in a lean. We'll have to see how it plays out, but we'll look and see how that line moves along as the day goes on. 9-7-5, the Miami Marlins will send Braxton Garrett, the southpaw, to the hill. 9-7-6, Boston Red Sox. No listed pitcher for the Red Sox. No line on the game, but I will be interested to see. The Marlins really put on the Red Sox tonight. They won that game 10-1. So it'll be interesting how that unfolds. Milwaukee Brewers, God, they find a way to screw me whenever they got a chance. I bet the Mets they can't win. I bet against the Mets they play phenomenal. It's unreal. However, I know Kodai Senga is going for the Mets. I know that Senga and the Mets are laying $1.46 here, plus 125 on the comeback with the southpaw Wade Miley for the Brew Crew. Miley, 5-2 with a 2.91 ERA, 1.03 whip. He's going 5 1/3 innings pitched per outing. Senga, 6-5 with a 3.52 ERA, 1.34 whip, 5 1/3 innings pitched. Brewers, 5-2 now the last 7 after losing the matchup tonight. Over the last 3 starts, though, when you dive into this for it, Miley, 0.71 whip, 0.71 ERA. Senga, 1.04 whip, 2.84 ERA. But Miley's just been hot. He's won his last 3, 6 of his last 8, and he's won 2 of the last 3 against the Mets. Senga's never faced the Mets, but when he's pitched, the Mets have lost 3 of his last 4 starts. I'll grab the Brewers with the plus money. So again, nothing official. Email me at john@bccsports.com. We'll get you on a package. Got something sweet worked out if you've never been on board with us to carry you through baseball and the NFL college football. 13 years in a row of at least 150 games over 500. Going to be tough to do this year, but I know we'll get there. But my lean so far, Blue Jays -122, Brewers +125, Pirates +135. Those are the leans on the games we've covered so far on your Wednesday slate. 9-7-7, the Houston Astros will face 9-7-8 St. Louis Cardinals. This will go off at 7:45 Eastern Time. Christian Javier will get the call for the Astros. Mike McCockles will get the rosin bag for the Cardinals. This one, it has the Cardinals. It opened up. The Astros were minus 110. It shifted already. McCockles and the Cardinals minus 116, minus 105 on the comeback for the Astros. Javier 7-1 with a 3.25 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, averaging 5 2/3 innings pitched. McCollum 4-5 with a 4.23 ERA. Your over/under is set at 8.5. The Astros jumped out to a 2-0 lead on Tuesday, only to surrender that and lose 5-2 to the Cardinals. Cardinals now 11th best offense in Major League Baseball. Houston Astros, they go to 17th in Major League Baseball. Over the last 3 starts, Javier 1.80 WHIP, 5.40 ERA. McCollum 1.42 WHIP, 6.16 earned run average. Javier, he was really, really strong, had won 6 starts in a row, but now he's lost 2 of his last 3. He's never faced the Cardinals. McCollum has faced the Astros twice, both of those coming way back in 2014, giving up 1 run and then 9 runs. So not a lot we can pull from that. With that being said, I know we had the Astros Tuesday night. They fell short for us. I like them to wheel back and get the win here as they've shifted now to the dog at a short minus 105. 959, the Detroit Tigers face 960 Texas Rangers. We got away with the Rangers on the run line. Usually I don't bet run lines, but I like the spot. We also had the Rangers in the money line parlay with the Dodgers, gave us plus 106 odds. But I got no opinion on Wednesday. Joey Wentz, the southpaw, get the call for the Tigers at plus 190. Dane Dunning minus 225. And you might say, well, John, Dunning is 6-1. I know, but I just think he's overachieved. I think he has to come back down to reality. I don't think the way he's been pitching is the way he can sustain pitching from here on out. So I'm just going to go with the no play on this one. We made our money with the Rangers on Tuesday night. Let's just leave it at that and let it ride. 955, the Philadelphia Phillies will face 956, the Cubbies of Chicago. Aaron Nola will get the rosin bag for the Phillies at minus 120, plus 102 on the comeback with the southpaw Drew Smiley for the Chicago Cubs. Nola 6-5 with a 4.38 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Smiley 7-4 with a 3.38 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. Your over/under set at 7.5. The Phillies now moved to 3-7 over the last 10 meetings, 1-4 the last 5 in Chi-Town. Over the last 3 starts, Nola 4.74 ERA. The Phillies have been 1-2 when he goes, but the Cubs are 2-1 when Smiley goes with a 3.71 ERA. Nola, he wins or loses every other start. So loses, win. Loses, win. But against the Chicago Cubs over his last 5, he's 4 wins, 1 loss. Smiley's won his last 2 starts, but he's won 3 of his last 4 against the Phillies in the last 3 in a row. Last one coming last July with the Cubbies. I'll grab the Cubbies here at plus money, plus 102. That would be my slight lean. Again, not a play, just a slight lean. 961, the Cleveland Guardians will send Logan Allen, the southpaw, to the hill against 962, the Kansas City Royals. Royals have not named a pitcher yet. Wouldn't matter if they named Brett Saberhagen. I'm not taking the Royals, and I can't take the Guardians that can't score. A's beat the Yankees tonight 2-1. You know, I told a buddy I had a gut feeling with Blackburn. He's like, the Yankees are going to win. He's a diehard Yankee fan. Yeah, well, guess what? They lost. 957, the Dodgers, they don't have a listed pitcher yet. 958, the Rockies with Kyle Freeland. I know the Rockies have been bloody awful. If you can get Freeland, though, over plus $2, you know, I think you really got to think about taking the dog in that spot. Like, there just becomes a point where too much is, well, too much. And I think that's the point with them. So if you could get that with the Rockies, I would have to look at that. Chicago White Sox 963 will visit the LA Angels 964. Jamie Beret will get the call for the Angels. He's more of a bullpen guy, laying at $1.25. Lucas Giolito and the White Sox plus 108 on the comeback Now, Giolito, he's been a strikeout machine as of lately. Again, Barrea, he only averages about 3 innings pitched per. Giolito, 5 2/3. But look, Giolito, 5-5 with a 3.41 ERA. Barrea, 2-2 with a 2.14 ERA. The under 3-0-2 in the White Sox last 5 road games. As we said the other night, White Sox 16-35 the last 51 against the Angels in LA. The Angels have won the first 2 games of this set. The White Sox really struggle to score. But over the last 3 starts, Giolito, 6 innings pitched on average with a 2 flat ERA. On top of that, for him, even though he's lost 2 of his last 3 starts against the Angels, he's 4-4, going 2-2 in his last 2. But earlier this year, May 30th, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs as the White Sox got the win 7-3. I like the White Sox to stave off the sweep here. I like the White Sox in the lean plus money. I think it's going to go up even more. So wait, let's see what happens, what matriculates. Maybe we get a better line on down here. 9-7-9, the Tampa Bay Rays will visit 9-8-0, the Arizona D-backs. Zach Eflin will get the call for the Rays. Zach Davies, who is 1-9, will get the call for the D-backs. He's got like a 9 ERA. Zach Davies is not the same Zach Davies that pitched for Milwaukee. He's been absolutely horrific. Eflin 9-3 with a 3.35 ERA. But if you've been listening to me long enough, you know Zach Eflin, I don't have a whole lot of faith in him either. Rays laying $1.46 plus 125 on the comeback with the Diamondbacks. I want to see how the market moves with this game. Eflin should definitely be the favorite, but I wonder now, Diamondbacks are hitting the crap out of the ball. So I really want to see, okay, do people hop on the better pitcher here, Eflin, and really drive that line up? Because if you get the Diamondbacks, regardless who's on the hill, if you can get them over plus 140, I mean, unless McClanahan's pitching for the Braves, you really got to think about it. Again, the Diamondbacks play great defense. They're hitting the ball. Their pitching's holding up. Defense is holding up. I just think it's something you really have to think about as you watch the market. Again, a lot of this is market. Where's the money going? This is the only thing Vegas has time to focus on because it's the only sport really going for the most part. So it's hard to find an edge. From now till August when football comes around, which thank God, I think it's like 60 days flat before the Hall of Fame game. Or not the Hall of Fame game. 60 days flat to the first college football game. I apologize. It's 41 days until the Hall of Fame game, which you can't wait for. Jets, Browns on that. But right now, baseball is really the only game in town, so it's hard to find an edge. So value is where you have to look. Again, remember, there's a value play on the board each and every day. I don't lay a 1.5, but the Rangers at even money, plus 100, even money, minus the 1.5, that worked out. It was a good value play for us today. So again, I'd like to see how the D-backs move through this, how the line moves in this game, but I could be swayed. The last one on the card is very interesting. 9-6-5, the New York Yankees visiting 9-6-6, the Oakland A's. We just told you the A's won 2-1 tonight. Domingo Germán will get the ball for the Yankees. Minus $1.62 plus 136 on the comeback with J.P. Spears, the ex-Yankee pitcher. Domingo Germán, 5.10 ERA, 4-5. Sears, the southpaw, 1-5, but he's got a 4.10 ERA. Again, for whatever reason, the Yankees, they've won 8 of the last 10 against the A's, but they always struggle in Oakland. Now, after tonight, 5-14 over the last 19 games when they've played in Oakland. So Oakland is not the place. I mean, that possum really gets them. Over the last 3 starts, though, check this out. Both pitchers, when they pitch, their teams are 1-2, but there's a huge disparity about that 1-2. Huge disclaimer. Germán, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 2.38 WHIP, a 12.71 ERA. That's it. Open up the ears. 12.71 ERA. J.P. Sears, on the other hand, he's going about 6 1/3, 0.79 WHIP with a 3.79 ERA. So again, the Yankees are favored off name, laying $1.62. I'm getting plus $1.36 to plus $1.40 with JP Spears and the A's. Look, the A's swept the Rays not too long ago back in Oakland. I'm going to take the A's again tomorrow, right? I don't know if I'm going to give it out, but I'm going to bet myself, and it's definitely a lean. Again, it's a value play. So our leans, A's plus money, White Sox plus money, Cubs plus money, Astros is a short favorite, Brewers plus money, Blue Jays is a favored. Those are our leans. Again, there's a lot to be said. How does the line move? How do things shift? Again, check us out at BCCS Sports on Twitter. Go to our YouTube page, BCCS Sports. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for us if you would. Thank you to our sponsors, Believe Network and Bet Online. Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest, easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE, capital B, capital L, capital E, capital A, capital V, BELIEVE, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You're halfway through the week. Be grateful God let you wake up. He gave you a great day. Go out and do something great with it. And remember to have a heart full of gratitude and a heart full of love. Hey, look, life is the closest thing to the game of golf. You get a lot of breaks from bad shots. You get bad breaks from good shots. But no matter what, you got to play the ball where it lies. So go out, play the ball where it lies, and just enjoy it and love it and be thankful and be grateful. God bless you, my winners. Plays will be out by 3 on Wednesday.